Well, I don't know about you guys, but I got some great news today. Brennan Marion, the former offensive coordinator at UNLV, spent last year as the head coach at Sacramento State, is coming back to the FBS level to be the offensive coordinator at Colorado. Now, why does that matter? Well, Brennan Marion is the creator of the Go offense, one of my favorite ones in College Football 25, and one we can use in College Football 26, but they don't make it easy. But it seems like it is going to be coming back in College Football 27, and with a team like Colorado, I expect it to be phenomenal. So first, let's just go into the go-go. There's 4 main formations. We're going to go over all of them, the things I like, the things I don't like. This was probably my top 3 favorite playbooks last year. I absolutely loved using the UNLV offense. I'm so excited to even potentially have the go-go back. That's why usually we don't even make videos on Friday. This was an exception. We got to take a look at this. So we're going to use Colorado for this. We're just going to hop into practice mode. And we are going to change that Colorado offensive playbook to, it's going to take a second, bear with me. There is one just called Go over here. There it is. So you cannot set this as your base playbook in dynasties. You can go in the selection screen here and switch it to Go if you wanted to do that. I don't know why they made it like that, but you can use it in dynasties. I don't believe it's an ultimate team. Other than that, it's only really play now is the only other option we got. But let's get into the go with Colorado, get a little bit of a taste of what we can hopefully expect with this team next year. First, I am going to take a quick look at their depth chart because there's a way I like to set up the go personally. I'm not sure if Colorado will be right for it, but a thing I am very excited for was, I wish they had it this year because Caden Salter would have been unbelievable with this go offense. But even next year with Julian Lewis, who's a true freshman this season, already at 83 speed, I think he is going to be very, very good in this type of offense as well. Now, our options at halfback, typically I would like to have one bruiser back and one speeder back. Colorado, we don't really have that option. We just got all east-west playmakers, so we'll just keep those guys as is. At wide receiver, an important thing to have would be a shifty ability if we can get one. Having 97 speed and 95 speed with platinum shifty, yep, that'll do. So you come on up here, 97 speed, you go to wide receiver 2, or wide receiver 1. Then we just want to make sure our slot receiver is the platinum shifty Mikkel, because it's essentially, it's kind of like a flex bone triple option kind of offense, but with a lot more RPOs. So we want to make sure our shiftiest, one of our fastest, whoever's got shifty, especially if it's platinum, is going to be our slot receiver and should be the one catching most of the RPOs. So we just want to make sure that is Cam Mickle in this instance. Same thing if you're running it in a dynasty. I think, we are actually going to keep him right there. Perfect. Let's get into the go. Like I said, there's going to be 4 formations: offset over weak, offset, and go slot open. So we'll just start at the beginning. Offset over, which I believe is my favorite one, if memory serves. It's been a little bit since I looked at this, but we just want to check, make sure Mickle, whatever, is our slot receiver. That is perfect. We are good to go. Now, this definitely has the best plays, in my opinion, out of all the go sets. We got some good triple options, and right away we see that RPO. This is why we put that shifty, our best playmaking wide receiver, as our slot, as our wide receiver 2 as well. Just make sure he is the guy getting these RPOs in offset over. But the triple option out of here is very good. We've got a couple other options, another RPO. But this one, the G load option out of offset over, I think is, last year in College Football 25 is one of the best runs in the entire game. I think it's still very, very good. Obviously, you don't really get to use it a whole heck of a lot, but you can see from the art, our left guard or right guard, depending on which way you're running it, is going to run out and try to set the edge along with our second back. That's kind of what helps make this offense so good. Having those 2 backs in the backfield is going to help a lot with blocking. It's going to help a lot with them getting open on different pass routes. It just helps with a lot of things. And seeing what defense they're actually even coming out in. So let's just, as an example, let's put an RPO in our hot route, which is something, or in our audibles, which is something we should have pretty much across all the formations. And why we want to do that is, let's just say we come out in a regular pass play. We'll just put them in a base, something like, it doesn't really matter, cover 4, just some sort of zone with no shell on. We can tell that's the defense they're in because of that tricky little corner all the way on the left of our screen. If they were in man coverage, that corner would not be out there. So we know right from the jump here that they are in zone. We would audible to this RPO and get it to our guy Mickle. And then we can see the back is trying to get out there and try and get some lead blocks. He's going to struggle. That's going to be tough for him to get all the way out there, but he's going to try his best. Yeah, I wish there was a way to like pass lead this and get this inside, but we can even see, even against this, against the cover 4 match with a matching flat zone, that we're still able to get 4 or 5 yards every single time, and that's going to be at a minimum just because we know they're in zone because of their defense, because they're not running any shell, and because of the formation we're in. We're overloading that right side, total giveaway to what the defense is going to be doing, unless they're running shells, of course. And then compared to if they are in some sort of man, let's just call them WS Blitz 1, we can see how this lineup looks very, very different. We can assume this is probably a man defense. We would not want to go to the RPO. That slot corner manned up on him is going to come down and potentially intercept it. So that's a huge benefit of these formations, in my opinion, especially this one and the next one. Offset over and over weak really gives good clues to what defense your opponent is going to be in. But getting back to just the actual plays in here, this RPO alert halfback flat, I think, is very, very good because you're running to the side of your tight end and your 2 wide receivers. So you get some lead blockers on an RPO. It's almost like a RPO read Y flat type of play, not quite, obviously, because it's your halfback and not a tight end on the line, but still can be very, very good. We got some just good runs across the board, inside zone, punch, the triple options, the load options, but then this zone toss. So this is going to your inside halfback, your outside halfback. This is called a sidecar formation, if memory serves me correctly. I don't know why that just came into my head. But your outside halfback in the sidecar is kind of like what we saw in the RPO. He's trying to go out and help set an edge on something like the toss. Then you pair that with fake toss verticals, which is another play where it's really, really good to know if they're in man or in zone. So we can just put them in something random, and this looks like it's probably zone because that left corner over there is not really going to be manned up on anybody. So if it's a zone, we typically will keep this kind of as is, and a lot of times you're going to have that wheel route on A. You're going to have one of the halfbacks essentially if it is indeed zone. And actually that one does look like it was man, just in kind of a funky alignment. But even if it is man and they're in a shell, something like this, there's no way the man who's manned up on X is going to be able to get out and over there on time. There's just no shot. So now they're in double mug. This probably looks like man. If I had to guess, I was wrong last time. I might be wrong again. But just from where those 2 safeties are lined up, I wouldn't think they'd be lined up like that in a zone. So again, you could keep this like this. If they're running more press, you know, you can put a drag here on RB. You could put a corner over on RB. Corners always do very well against man. You could keep them on the crosser if you want. That usually does pretty well against man. The wheel route on A if we have time. Like, this is just a fantastic play. And again, we can just dump it down and take a couple yards there when they send a big blitz. Or if we do think they are running mid-blitz in a situation like that, you can block either one of your halfbacks, get an extra blocker out there, and give your guys time to get open. Now, this has to be zone. This would be insane if this was man in that left corner all the way out on the numbers. So we're going to see maybe we can hit this wheel route really quick. We get the little zone chuck there. It gives us time to hit that wheel route pass lead over to the right. This one's definitely man. Those 2 linebackers are kissing each other at the 25. At the 25-yard line. I want to see, I want to see this crosser get open once, but that fake toss kind of bites him. Crosser doesn't get open, but the deep post does, and what a ball by Lewis. How that was even close is pretty amazing. So they're back in zone. You guys kind of get the idea. Fake toss verticals, an unbelievable pass out of here to mix in with our RPOs, our options, and our different run plays just in offset over. Now, when offset over weak, we're going to have the same personnel on the field, but your sidecar is moving to the other side of the other lane on the highway, I guess we could put it that way. Or they're just switching over, but they're not really moving positions. You can see 29 here is the closest to the quarterback. They're staying next to each other. Why did I keep going the wrong way? So 29 staying on the left, 7 is staying on the right. 7 gets closer to the quarterback. 29 is a little further away. This formation I don't typically love. The read Y, I called it read Y flat. The read halfback flat. Again, certain defenses maybe. This would definitely be much more of a running or an RPO, the load option. This can absolutely kill some big man defenses because kind of similar to what we saw in regular offset over. And yes, our halfbacks are on the other side, but still against man, they're going to be more concerned with what's going on over the right with the wide receivers and the tight end over there. So then having our outside back going up to try to set the edge can set up really well for that load option. These DIY sweep reverses, I can never get those to work. If you can, more power to you. But yeah, offset over week, probably my least favorite of the three, but there's still some good stuff in here too, but mainly with the RPOs and that load option. So now we go to go-go offset. This is going to still keep our little sidecar in the back. That's the whole point of the go-go, but we lose a tight end and gain another wide receiver. We have our slot over on the left, another receiver out wide to the left, and one out wide to the right. These, of course, are going to be a little more pass focused than the other ones since we've got 3 wide receivers on the field, but we still got a good RPO. And my main problem with these, they're not the overload that we get out of offset over. It was a little bit easier for people to disguise defenses against these sort of things, but we have another alert halfback flat. I believe we have one in every single go-go formation here. We got another speed option, which all the options are going to be good. Having that outside back going to set the edge, it really, really does help a lot. We got a few different play actions. Seam streaks coming from your backs are going to be very, very good too. Corner routes, of course. Corner routes are good all the time out of any formation, but especially out of the go-go. Slot cross, a very good pass play, another good run there with halfback punch. You got some play action rollouts. It's very important to have a mobile quarterback who can get out and take advantage of some of these option plays, some of these load option plays or speed option plays, things like that. And there's a few rollout plays where having that extra speed and mobility on your quarterback is going to help a whole heck of a lot. Then our last go-go set here is going to be go-go slot open. Now this one I like a little bit more because we have the slot receiver on the same side as our 2 halfbacks. So we're still overloading that right side with 4 receiving options. Makes it a lot easier to beat things like match or even just any drop zones as well, just because we're going to have so much going on to the one side. We got another triple option hiding out of here, some more play action, some more just basic inside zone runs. These rollout pass plays can be good. I think it is actually rollout smash is the one I like a lot. You can have that curl route on B to keep the zone defenders down, then deeper corner going over the top there. Some more PA rollouts. PA fin is a solid one. Another RPO. Like, it's gonna be a lot of runs and a lot of RPOs, then occasionally threatening with a deep pass with something like a PA fin with that streak on RB, and then an underneath little post there from B. And there it is, another RPO read, halfback flat in this one. So yeah, I think there's a good way to combine all 4 of these go-go sets. I mainly base, it's kind of like how I run Flexbone. I'll base everything out of one main formation and then kind of bounce around a little bit from there. I use go-go offset over as my base. I think it's got the best overall set of plays, the best way to attack a lot of different things, and we get that tell on the defense of what formation they're in. You get the triple option, you get the RPO, you get the toss and the fake toss inside the zone. I already went over all these plays. I don't know why I'm just naming them again. And you get the G load and regular load option too. So I'd base everything out of go-go offset over. And once we notice certain things about the defense is going to, that's when we can go into some more of these offset over weeks, the offset, especially if we notice that they're just consistently coming out. Say they're just almost always in like a cover 2 or something like that as an example. Then one of these rollout plays should work pretty well. This rollout smash. B is going to kind of keep the cloud flat down a little bit. And you could also put one of your halfbacks out on a flat or something too, just to try to make sure that defender stays down. Then you'd be able to hit that corner underneath the deep half and just some things like that. Base it in offset over, see what they're doing on defense. If they're coming out in a ton of big man blitzes and things, you can take some of the outside runs in some of these formations, some of these speed options, load options, things to try to get outside the big man blitz, get the pitch off, get it to your playmakers, get them going. I don't know. I was going to say it's kind of like air raid, but that's only because the philosophy that came in my head was about getting it to your playmakers in space as often as you can. It's essentially what the go-go is too. I mean, really, I guess that's kind of what almost every offense is. But elsewhere in this UNLV playbook, we've also got some more fun things that we can look at. The split stuff in here, I think, is really good. And I'm imagining they're going to do something similar to what they did this year. They're just going to keep the go-go playbook. The UNLV playbook from College Football 25 is essentially going to be the Colorado playbook of next year, unless they're really studying Sacramento State tape. That tripped me up for a second, which I doubt they're doing. So I'm expecting Colorado's playbook to look very, very similar to what we're seeing here, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Split slot open, backs cross, unbelievable play. So good. Put a post on A though, or else he's a little too far down and too close to the backs, in my personal opinion. But we also get some fun flair in these formations with the triple option go to the right, one going to the left. We also have a split offset, and there was a midline read option here and split slot open as well. We also have another double back set here with split slot offset. What they had in 25 and they don't have in 26 is they had this, but not in shotgun, and I think it was just called split backs. It was terrible, but it was a fun way, you know, it was a fun thing to mix in, but it just wasn't very good. So I'm not too upset it's gone, but I kind of am. There's not really a point to me saying that, but what we see in here is the thing I say about a lot of the playbooks, where we have that similar motion with a lot of different plays, inside zone, triple option, or just a swing pass going out to the right, some more triple options out of the split slot stuff. So very, very interesting playbook. You got some more standard passing options here too. This is not what I go to when it's time to pass and use UNLV. We will get to that in just a second. We also have some cluster halfback strong. I know people love cluster in Notre Dame. People like cluster halfback strong. I've never personally got it to work for me, so I wouldn't really use this one too much either. Trips X Nasty is a very good formation too. This one's in Hawaii and a few others, but you got some really good. I love that high-low dig play with that seam streak on A, the deep dig on B, and the whip route on RB. I think that's a very, very good combo. I like plays that we don't really have to hot route hardly anything for, like verticals X shallow, slot fade wheel, anything with that delayed kind of low slant that we see B on there. Like, unless the user's going out to defend that, that's almost always getting open. But the best passing formation in this UNLV playbook, without a doubt. Oh, we do have split backs. What was I saying? I don't know. I was speaking nonsense, apparently. But the best passing formation in this entire playbook is going to be in pistol, and it's pistol bunch. I love pistol bunch. I think it is so good. And having a threat of a formation like this we can go to when we do have to pass the ball, I think is really what set this playbook over the top for me in college football 25, and hopefully in college football 27. But out of here, corner strike. One of the best man-beating plays in the game. You have a C route on the one side. You stem up a C route against press man. A lot of times that's just going to run right on by the press. The corner route Biazon runs a lot sharper than like a standard corner route for whatever reason. Kills man coverage, and then you put a streak on A or something, and we're essentially setting up a flood over to that right side so we can beat some zone coverages there as well. We've also got Seattle, which you can just snap throw that outside wheel route to B if they're playing really dropped zone coverage. If the crosser on your slot receiver A, you can put a Texas route on your halfback as long as it's going. So in like this, I would want it starting to the left and then cutting back over to the right, kind of going opposite of that crosser. Make the user, if they're in cover 4 or something, the user's going to have to pick, am I taking that crosser or am I sticking with the Texas route? Flanker drive. Love this play. Just put a post on A, make a nice high-low between B and A. I love this formation. I love pistol bunch, specifically UNLVs, because it has those 3 pass plays. It's hard to find a pistol bunch that has all 3 of those. And you still have a halfback zone, you still have a read option, inside zone split, so you still have a few runs in there as well. And then you also have full house twins over, which this one is kind of wild, but I really enjoy it. It's like a pistol full house, but it's got 2 receivers over on the right. It's got a triple option, a zone read, so just a read option essentially, wide receiver screen. Wouldn't recommend that one. But you got triple options going both ways, which I think is fantastic. So we have one going to the right, one going to the weak side, triple option switch, just some basic runs with a halfback slam. The off tackle is an unbelievable, like, first goal at the 3, call a halfback off tackle. Really, really good play. So overall, huge fan of the UNLV playbook, huge fan of this go-go playbook, very excited. Yeah, and these split backs, why did I think these weren't in the game? I don't know, but we have the same backs cross. The run plays aren't the best, but the tight end sail F flat, any flood type of situation like that, any route combo like that, all going to be good against drop zone coverage. Cover 2, 3, 4, doesn't really matter. You're going to have somebody open on that. Texas, I always like those with the seam streak on your tight end and then sneak a Texas route from a halfback on the same side. Always a very good combo in there as well. Why did I think they didn't have this? Maybe they didn't and they added in later, or I was just blind the first time I went over this. I don't know. And then in split backs, flex close, it's the same personnel. It's just he kind of lines up more. Your tight end gets off the line and lines up more like a slot receiver, and your other receivers come and condense in, which, you know, can be interesting. Things like scat, the extract flood, the streaks I think will be a little bit better out of here just because of how they're lined up a little differently. They might be able to get open a little bit better, but I wouldn't recommend too much of the split backs. I would just stay in go in their split shotgun sets up here too. Yeah, that is the UNLV playbook of 2025, the go-go playbook of 2026, and hopefully the Colorado playbook of college football 27. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are excited as I am for the hopeful return. I said hopeful a lot there. For the potential return of the go-go offense in college football 27. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you next time. Until then, take it easy.